Papua New Guinea lies on the eastern half of the island of New Guinea, just north of Australia. It has a rich history and a very diverse population. While crime is prevalent across the country, we fear not today as we have brought along a travel guide as we sample some of PNG's finest snackery. The country lies in the Pacific Ring of Fire, at a point where several tectonic plates collide. Today there will be a flavor eruption as two mighty forces collide, YTD and PNG. You tried it! You Tried Dat, PNG edition. I'm Nick Novak with my pal Chad Hancock.
Howdy.
Nick Geiger.
Hey.
And back with us again today is our good podcast friend, Chrissy. Chrissy, how you doing?
I'm good. I just don't know how to quit you guys.
Good. We'd have one less listener then.
No, this time you're actually sitting here next to me as you are visiting me here in San Francisco.
Yes.
And so we didn't have to have you dial in from some like remote Wisconsin cabin like before or wherever you were.
Yeah, actually the first time I was on this podcast, my 75-year-old dad was sitting in the recliner in the same room, which made it very awkward to make jokes about all of your junk.
Your dad's seen our junk plenty of times.
This is a much more hospitable setting.
Your dad's Google search history is just biggest junk ever, and it's just a picture of us three.
Aw, I don't know which image is the worst part of that.
Yeah, little known fact, the three of us have the number 1, 2, and 3 ranked junk.
When you combine our junk.
We'll let the listeners decide who's who.
So, Chrissy, you have actually been, you got us these snacks today. So why don't you tell us first how you came across these snacks?
Yeah, I'm super excited. So as a longtime listener of the podcast and one of your many, many fans, I was traveling to Papua New Guinea for work, and my quest was to find snacks actually made in the country, which is not so easy because in a lot of these smaller countries, all the food is imported. They don't exactly have a thriving food production industry. So it took quite a lot of sleuthing to find snack food that was actually made in the country. And so, I have these gems for you here today. And I haven't tried any of them myself, so this is all new for me too.
Good. We are super excited to try it. Now, you guys were sort of talking in code a little before the podcast started that there was going to be something secret to share with Geiger and I.
Yeah, so we were having like a debate earlier today, and then we wanted to get you guys to weigh in on this. So Papua New Guinea is one of the last places in the world that has cannibalism. And so the debate is cannibalism actually wrong? Now, assuming obviously like killing a person to eat them is wrong.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like say they died of natural causes or something like that, or like, maybe they like arm got chopped off by like a chainsaw or something. Could you, is it really wrong to actually like eat that meat if presented
If their
to you?
arm got chopped off by a chainsaw?
Is that a common situation?
Yeah, that standard Saturday afternoon risk of chainsaws flying into your arm.
If you're a cannibal and you're just waving your chainsaw around near somebody's arm, whoops. Well, I guess it's okay now.
You're one of those famous chainsaw jugglers, and like you just
I guess the question there is, do you eat the arm in front of the person, or do they get to eat their own arm? Like, how does that work? What's the etiquette?
Is this a serious question? Are you asking us? What is the actual question here?
We actually did have a serious debate about it earlier.
Okay, so there's how many people debated? Just total numbers? 3?
Yes, Chrissy, myself, and my wife.
What's the total vote split? I don't need to know who yet.
Were we 2-1?
I think we all agreed.
No, I think I disagreed with you too.
Well, there's one question: is it wrong?
Yeah, right. Is it wrong? And I think we were 2-1.
Yeah,
2-1's.
Question about Papua New Guinea. Is it like a really like poverty-ridden, like food is scarce type thing where like maybe it would be a necessity to eat someone?
No, it's very underdeveloped and there's issues with poverty, but my sense is the cannibalism is more of the ritualistic variety than it is the necessity of variety.
It's like, just a remote like tribal kind of stuff.
They think there's a possibility that there's still tribes there that have never seen a white man.
Oh.
What's the general like chainsaw production there?
What are their chains? Did you tour their chainsaw factories?
Can you get human meat like from like Postmates or DoorDash or anything? Or...
I didn't see it. And I did read the ingredient labels on today's snacks to ensure no human skin, flesh, or other body parts are in them.
Yeah.
But I don't have an argument as to why it's necessarily wrong. Of course, it's disgusting, but if necessity or if it's part of your culture, is it really that big of a deal? I don't think so.
I think it's probably meat is meat, right? So if you need it to survive,
Yeah.
and we just grew up with this crazy hang up of don't eat random people. But if you're not murdering them, obviously murder is wrong. Murder, I mean, I'll murder a shitload of cows and eat the shit out of them. I don't care. Fuck you guys. You're not doing anything for me.
I'll murder me some fucking cows.
Yeah, just bite the heads off a chicken.
Yeah, right. I'll murder animals dumber than humans. But humans, I do feel it's wrong to murder them. But I suppose
you won't murder the animals either, though. That's
no,
not
I won't
true.
murder. Well, I murder a couple fish.
You wouldn't go murder an animal. Like, you personally wouldn't do that.
No, that's correct. I would not do the murdering. Now, if someone like went out and murdered a bunch of humans and just like brought them over and I grilled them up, that's okay. But I think it's probably our cultural bias against it. Just like eating dog or eating horse, whatever. Like in other countries, they do that. I don't have a necessarily problem. As long as the person died of natural causes and that person, I don't know, doesn't give a shit. They can't anymore because they're dead. So it's fine by me. Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Novak.
This is maybe a little. How many other animals actually have cannibalistic tendencies?
We asked ourselves the same question.
Like, are there others that do, or is it not true?
Yeah,
very good question.
I don't know how many of them actually. Like, there are animals that will like eat the young of like rival, or at least kill the young. I don't know if they actually will eat the young of like rival, males or whatever. I know that my in-laws used to feed their chickens leftover Chinese food chicken, which is always kind of twisted.
Well, I would eat my rival's kids. That's a different question. If it's my main rival, then I would eat their young.
Who's your rival?
You.
Oh God!
Are you just finding this out?
Where are my children? Jake just pops up on your side of the camera. Why is he covered in salt?
I would say, I feel like maybe it's an unnatural thing. Like, a lot of animals don't do it. Like, let's say a squirrel dies in your yard, right? Mm-hmm. There's not a bunch of other squirrels eating his body. Like, I feel like maybe it's just not a natural thing.
Yeah, they're just stealing his nuts. Yeah.
These nuts?
Yeah. So, is it just me and Novak that think it's wrong then, or you don't even think it's wrong?
I think it seems wrong. I mean, I don't feel like I'm maybe going out on such a limb here, but yeah, I would say it's wrong.
No, look, I'm not staunchly like pro cannibalism or anything, but I think
you're eager.
If the person's dead anyway, I mean, it's not that big. It's a victimless crime at that point.
I care. If I die, I like really prefer nobody eat me.
Well, put it in your will.
That's really my preference.
Put in your will, don't eat me.
But if somebody did put it in their will, if Chad puts it in his will that he does want to be eaten by you after his death.
Oh, wow.
Sure.
What do you do?
Sure. Because this is like organ is being an organ. Is organ donation basically cannibalism because you're taking it in someone's body and shoving it inside your own body?
Nope. You're not eating it.
You're not digesting. If you get a heart transplant, you didn't digest the other person's heart.
Does Novak think cannibalism is just donating organs? Wait, you're against organ donation this whole time? I didn't know.
You're like, my kidneys are failing, and you just rip one out of somebody else's stomach and just take a huge bite out of it. Okay, so can we all agree then that should one of us die, then the final episode of YTD is us eating that person's remains?
Yeah. This is dog shit. Sorry, Cat. I'm really sorry. This tastes like shit. Hey, you're my best friend. You're my best friend, but you taste like shit, man.
I just wish Novak's thigh was a Reese's cup.
I just want to hear the scale that you come up with for rating that.
Or would you say this is no whack?
There we go.
Yeah.
So I guess we're still split here, I guess. I mean, this is a really...
Yeah. We didn't decide anything. We will leave this up to our listeners. hit us up on the social media and let us know.
We'll put a poll on Facebook that gets us shut down that asks, would you eat a human being?
How many dunks would you give to Chad's junk?
Well, he doesn't really taste like Chad. 1 dunk for authenticity.
So we have 3 snacks to eat. We'll get into a little more of the PNG talk as we go, but we use a 5-point scale: a love dat, like dat, indifferent to dat, dislike dat, and hate dat. And I think we need to start with these Oro Cream Biscuits. And this is just spelled ORO. So it's basically they took the letter E out of Oreo, and the package makes it look just like an Oreo. We will see if it is on the inside. So, Chrissy, what kind of things were you doing while you were there for your job?
There is some refugee situation. So since I specialize working with refugees, we were meeting with government actors trying to get access to refugees who are being kept on an island there. An interesting YTD related fact, the U.S. ambassador to Papua New Guinea is from the great state of Wisconsin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Is it Brett Favre?
Oh, shit.
Right on, right?
Did he show up to the first ambassador meeting where... Did she show up wearing a Packers jersey to the very first meeting?
It was her cheese head in the shape of a human skull that really threw me off. But no, I didn't actually meet her. I met her deputy, who was from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, because that's exactly where you imagine all of our U.S. diplomats are from, is the Midwest.
Was she there to advocate for cannibalism or no? Where did she fall?
You know, I didn't actually meet her, so unfortunately, I know nothing about her except that she's from Wisconsin, and the guy who we did meet with was so excited to hear I was from Wisconsin, he had me write down on a piece of paper what town he was from, so we could eagerly share it with her later.
That is the most Wisconsin fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life.
It's incredibly Wisconsin, and I was there, my other coworker was this old French guy, and as I was going back and forth with the Iowa guy about the Midwest and parts of Wisconsin and Wisconsin Dells, the French guy's just staring at us.
Do you get this sometimes where I'll get like, even now, it sounds dumb, but like someone will be like, oh, you're from Wisconsin? I'm like, yeah, like, oh, do you know so-and-so? Like there's 8 people in the fucking state. Like, no, I don't know all of them.
But you do.
Right. But you do know somebody who knows.
But yeah, no, I probably saw him at the state fair. But
how much time did you spend opening up cookie packages for the refugees? Because it took 3 of you. It took 3 people over there to open one package.
This thing was made out of fucking like adamantium or something. It's so hard to open.
Mine exploded immediately.
It's much bigger than a regular Oreo, I feel like. Or maybe not much bigger, but it is bigger, but it's lacking in cream.
The cookie tastes much different. Or at least mine does. It almost tastes like salty or something, like not that sweet.
The chocolate is very different tasting. It's like darker.
Yeah.
And a little crumblier.
There's very little cream. The cream to chocolate ratio is definitely off.
The ratio's way off.
I would say it's even worse. We'll get to the ratings, but even worse than like the generic Oreos that you'll find, Hydrox and store brand Oreos.
The ratio is like, do you remember in the Oreo tournament we tried those like reduced fat Oreos?
Yeah.
Like this is like a ratio like that. It's bad.
Did you just open the Ark of the Covenant over there? What happened? I'm seeing some facial expressions on your end of the rainbow there.
Yeah, my wife is spectating and she looks like she wants to jump off a bridge from having tried this thing.
There is a salty aftertaste, isn't there?
It's really weird.
All right, let's get to it. Chrissy, you're gonna start off and tell us your rating and why you gave it that.
It's not good, that we can be sure of. I think I would. Yeah, it's dislike for me. It's not the worst thing. It's not a Chad trademark steaming pile of dog shit, but it's not good. It's a little bit chocolatey, a little bit vanilla. I think when you're really desperate and looking for something from a faraway land that resembles something from home, it's reasonably passable. So dislike that.
All right, a dislike to start. Geiger, you're up next. What do you think?
Yeah, Chris is pretty dead on. I think if this is what passes for dessert, I kind of understand why they're eating human beings over there. This is got this weird salty aftertaste. It's bizarre. Like you eat the cookie and it's like you ate a cracker, even though you didn't. The cookie itself crumbles in your hand. At least maybe that's the pack. Like maybe that's the getting shipped over here. I opened the package, it was destroyed, and the solid pieces I did have as I was trying to put them in my mouth broke in my hand. There's almost no cream in there. These are not good. This is a dislike. Again, it's not a hate. It's edible and all that, but this is not good.
Yeah, I mean, I think if these had been in like the Oreo tournament or something, they would have been like an immediate exit. One dunks all around. The consistency is so bad. Like this feels like somebody like home brewed like their own kind of like Oreo recipe, you know, like some fucking hipster or something. And they were like, check out these homemade Oreos I had. And you like take a bite and you're like very like, oh, that's wonderful. Cause they're like standing right in front of you, you know, but secretly they're very, very bad. There needs to be way more cream, but I'm not even sure the cream is that good. So it probably wouldn't help. I'm going to give these a really strong no whack. I mean, dislike that.
There's a knock at the door. It's somebody we don't want there, but I don't think I can go with you guys on this dislike. It's not good. I agree that it's not great, but it still is chocolate and cream, and neither one's that terrible. I'm gonna have to give it an indifferent. I get the dislike, but I feel like it's more of a negative vibe because we love the Oreo cookie itself so much. If I had never had an Oreo cookie, I'd say this was fine. So you don't.
But you have had an Oreo cookie.
I have. That's true. I've had man. You watched me eat 80 of them in a single sitting. So, you probably aren't going to want to take a trip to PNG to pick up these cookies. There's 3 dislikes and an indifferent to start. Not a very good start. So let's bring out the next contender, and a good contender it is. It's the extra beef and tomato. It's Nowum.
Now.
M now or Nowum?
M now or now M? It's a great question.
M now or Nowum, extra beef and tomato. And these are just crackers. It's just a set of 4 very large coaster shape crackers. And they're referred to as beef and tomato. So it should be interesting. And again, Chad having a really hard time opening the package.
Having to get the scissors.
These were the snacks I saw on the shelf and thought, oh, this could be my first flaming pile of
God,
dog
these
shit
fucking
for the
smell
show.
awful.
I was really motivated to get these for you guys. They had other flavors. They had cheese. They had just beef flavored. But something about a beef and tomato flavored cracker just sounded so horrible.
They smell bad.
I just had no idea I would actually be with you guys and have to eat the snacks myself.
Karma's a bitch.
A poor life choice. Ooh.
Oh.
This smells like mystery meat.
Oh, this is off-putting.
I can't tell if they're stale or that's supposed to be the consistency.
They are very stale.
So would it have been better to eat them M now or M later?
I mean, it says best before November 17th, 2019, so they should not be stale, but
This may just be how they're supposed to taste.
maybe. It tastes like somebody took the world's worst meatball and like slathered it all over a cracker.
It's the shape of a giant like saltine, like a giant thick saltine.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to eat it.
I don't really taste the beef part of it. If you didn't tell me, if the word beef wasn't on it,
Did you want to?
If the word beef wasn't on it, then I wouldn't be able to pick out that it's beef. It smells kind of just like a really cheap pizza that you'd get, like a oven pizza, like a $2 variety or something.
Or like an old ass can of ragu.
Or like Chef Boyardee.
Yes.
Like off-brand Chef Boyardee.
It smells and tastes like SpaghettiOs to me, like powdered SpaghettiOs.
Yep.
It smells and tastes like Hamburger Helper took a shit.
Right.
That's what it tastes
Right.
like.
That's yes.
It
All right,
smells-
let's give it totally unbiased rankings now. So what
and Hamburger Helper shit is what I'm into.
It
Loved
smells
it.
like if Chef Boyardee ate another chef and then took a shit.
Right.
All right, Chad, you're gonna go first this time. Tell us about what do you think of the Nowum beef and tomato extra?
Well, I don't like tomato to begin with, so these were sort of an uphill battle. And having tomato in a cracker is unpleasant, but I think having beef in a cracker is like even more of an unpleasant thing. I don't understand why anyone would like this or eat this. Even if it wasn't stale tasting, it would be horrible. I couldn't force myself to take a second bite. I thought it was so bad. This is an easy slam dunk hate that.
Wow. I can tell right now, this is not going to be a flaming bag of dog shit because Geiger is still eating them.
Geiger's like putting them back. He's putting them back like they're fucking Cool Ranch Doritos.
Licking the crumbs out of his beard.
I'll go next. Now, it is not, I'm not giving it a hate that. it still just tastes like a pizza-y cracker. It tastes like a cracker that was, like we said, dipped in hamburger helper or ragu sauce or something, which is terrible. Even just describing that is terrible. However, it's not a hate that. I could eat this whole cracker and not really have an issue with it. I'm just giving this a dislike that. Geiger, what do you think?
Not only could I eat this whole cracker, I done did eat this whole cracker.
How many? Did you eat more than one?
I just ate one cracker. It's a long night yet. Oh, honestly, to me, the taste didn't bother me. The smell bothered me worse than the taste. The smell of SpaghettiO
Smells bad.
was bad. Once I tasted it, it was just kind of salty. Again, I didn't pick up any beef. It was just like a tomato flavor. It tastes like a cracker that kind of tastes like tomato soup. It wasn't that big a deal. I didn't mind the taste. What I minded was that it was the size of like a greeting card, and it was way too thick. Like it was just way too, like it was crumbly. It was stale tasting. The consistency sucked. So I would give it an indifferent to that. I didn't like it necessarily because of the consistency, but not because of the flavor. The flavor was fine.
All right. Wow. This is not different. So, Chrissy, we're climbing the scale here. We've gone hate, dislike, and different. So tell us why you like this.
Man, I am in shock. I was really hoping that this would be an all-out pile of dog shit, and I absolutely think it is.
How you like me am now?
I mean, this is disgusting. It's terrible. Like you said, the consistency's bad. The flavor, like tomato and cracker, just don't go well together.
Yeah.
It's foul and offensive. So it's absolutely a hate that from me. And I really see both of you differently from now on.
Wow.
Well, you reap what you sow. You're the one that provided us with this pile of shit. So you had to eat it.
Yeah, it's really bad. It reminds me, I was with Chad and his wife a few years ago before I left to move to work, and we took a road trip to Big Sur and went to a diner, and his wife ordered the dish known as shit on a shingle. And I think this is cracker shit on a cracker shingle.
Yeah.
It's really foul.
Would you say this is just like the PNG version of bruschetta? All right, Geiger segment time.
Cool. Who's got it? Oh, me. Here we go. Okay.
Better be about cannibalism.
Right. So I've mailed you 8 different famous chefs come, and you have to taste each one and tell me, is it Gordon Ramsay? Is it another famous chef? All right.
Guy Fieri.
Mario Batali.
Yeah,
Paula Deen.
Rachel Ray.
I was about to say Anthony Bourdain, and I'm like, that's in poor taste.
Is it? No, it's not in poor taste. Is it Anthony Bourdain's Cannibal Cum? Ugh. All right. Let's cut that out.
Cannibal Cum? That's all right. And we're back. Time for a segment, guys.
And Swedish Chef.
Get your mouth off my dick. All right. That's my Swedish Chef. What do you guys think?
That's why Beaker was always making that face.
His nose lighting up. All right. So I frequent a website.
Yeah, we know.
Don't worry about it. Hold on. Let's see. I got the name right here. Ashley Mad. Oh, wrong one.
Cannibal Madison?
Yeah, my wife doesn't listen anyway. No, it's
Chef.
I go to.
Is it chefjizz.org? .biz?
Yes.
.biz?
Yes, it's chefjizz.org. It's for people with Tourette's that like Chef Jizz. Real niche audience they're serving.
I can't talk. I've got too much fucking tomato cracker in my mouth.
I don't think a Geiger segment has ever started within 10 minutes of its introduction.
This is not my fault. I don't know what you want me to do.
Control.
All right. This is why I'm not the conductor of this show. All right. So I go to Deadspin. It's a sports blog, but they have a sister site or segment in there that used to be called Food Spin, and it would be about food and recipes and stuff like that. And in 2013, they had an article where the Food Spin staff picked the food that is most associated with each state in America and then ranked them. So what we're going to do today is I'm not concerned about the ranking. I want to see if you guys can guess what food they chose to represent each state. So we're going to do 3 rounds. The first round, I will ask each of you to start. You have to guess that state. If you get it, you get 2 points. If you don't get it, the other 2 can guess for 1 point each. and then we'll go 3 rounds. Okay. Sorry. Sorry, had to regulate my cat's trying to take a shit, and my dog's trying to bite him while she's doing that. Anyway,
So you turned and you clapped at them?
yeah, I did broke it up. I was gagging them
It
on.
looked like you gave him a round of applause.
Bravo. Good fun, old chap. All right. So we're going to start off with everyone's home state. So Novak, you're up first. I will tell you the ranking as well. Illinois, where you live.
Right.
Can I divulge that? Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to do it anyway. Illinois is number 1 on the list. So what food stuff is Illinois most known for?
Deep dish pizza.
Yes. So you get 2 points there. All right, Chrissy, you got to represent Wisconsin here.
Oh yeah.
Well, you're good start.
Sit there confused like a Wisconsinan.
What food represents Wisconsin, according to these people? It was ranked 33rd.
Cheese curds.
No. All right, Chad, Novak, you can each guess if you can both
What?
have the same answer if you want.
Bratwurst.
Your guess is bratwurst. What's yours, Novak? You can have the same guess if you want or a different
If
guess.
he can, did he get it? Yes or no? Then I won't bother to guess.
Yes, he got it. It's bratwurst.
I would have said cheese too, though, Chrissy. I thought cheese was the way to go.
Over a cheese curd.
I was surprised, yeah. I mean, bratwurst is not a wrong choice, I would say. But all right, Chad, California dreaming over here. The 3rd ranked food on this list from California is a what?
Avocado. Burrito. Two guesses?
Oh, come on. Which is your guess?
Burrito. Final answer.
I'll give it to you. Yes, a mission-style burrito. Which, if I'm right, does this just mean they put French fries in it?
No, that's the San Diego one. Mission style is like
Oh.
rice and beans from here in San Francisco.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So that's the hometown state. So coming out of the first round, Chad's got 3, Novak 2. Chrissy, wah, 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 no points.
Boo.
All right. So now the second round, we're just going to guess. I've tried to pick. There's some here that are just bizarre, and we'll get to that in a second. But for now, I tried to pick one that you would have a reasonable chance of getting. So Chad, you'll go first this time. Let me find where it ranks. Okay. What would you guess the 14th ranked food in this list represents the state of Massachusetts?
Boston and shit. How do you like them apples? Or is it like probably maybe clam chowder?
Are you just reciting Good Will
or
Hunting? I don't know.
lobster? I am, yeah.
Math books.
Ben Affleck's come. So I'm gonna say clam chowder.
Nicely done.
Ooh.
All right. 2 points there. Okay. Novak, you'll go. So I gotta find it. Hold on. Sorry.
Clap. Give him more applause.
I forgot to clap at him. Novak, number 22, New York. I was surprised at how low New York came in, but 22. What would you say it is?
Pizza.
Yes. That's why I was funny to give you the 2 pizza ones. So, New York style pizza. All right, Chrissy.
Now Geiger's gonna be like North Dakota.
Yeah.
Delaware.
No. No.
The great state of Delaware.
We are going to do, for you, we're going to do Maine.
Oh, what's in?
So this one is coming in at number 24.
Lobster scores that low on the list.
I will give it to you. Yes, it's lobster roll technically, but yeah, it's essentially.
Look at that
Gotta be
Moxie. She
lobster.
just makes an assumption that she's right. Really, lobster that low?
It's gotta be lobster.
Incorrect. It's Fritos. No, all right. So heading into the third round, we've got Chad at 5, Novak at 4, Chrissy at 2. All right. So this last round is weird ones. So I'm going to do the reverse here. I'm going to name the food. You have to tell me what state it belongs to. All right. Chrissy, you have not gone first yet, so I will cede that to you. And you're going to go with hot dish.
What?
Oh, I think that's from our neighbors to the west. That's a Minnesota thing.
You are absolutely correct.
What the fuck
Wow,
is hot
nice.
dish?
It's how they refer to casseroles.
Yep. It's like a hamburger casserole with some sort of starch or some vegetable, and then they pour like canned soup on top and bake it. Sounds
Yeah.
revolting.
Yes.
Hot dish.
But all right. All right, Novak.
They put beef and tomato and cracker in it, usually, I think.
Actually, Chad, we'll have you go, and then we'll see if Novak has a shot to get you. So you are going to do finger steaks.
Finger steaks?
Right.
This goes right along with our cannibalism theme here.
Yeah, is it the great state of Papua New Guinea? finger. I don't even know what the fuck a finger steak is. Finger steak. That's probably like some like like chicken tender or fried fish fillet or some shit. Whatever. This is just gonna be like a random fucking state. So let's just say Wyoming.
Whatever. It's gonna be one of the 50 fucking states. Yes, it is. That's the name of the thing. It's a random state. No, it's Idaho. So you were wrong.
I was close.
Hey, we're supposed to be able to guess.
Oh, yeah, not this time. All right.
Geiger, you fucked up.
I was 100% guessing Idaho.
You were not.
I was 100. I was definitely gonna.
All right, I can give him another one if you want.
Because it's
What is finger steak?
the state is shaped like a finger, right? Like a finger sticking up.
All right. So Novak, here you go.
Wait, what is a finger steak?
Oh, what is a finger steak? It is apparently deep fried.
Yeah.
It's like a deep fried steak popper, basically. It's like a deep fried slice of steak.
That sounds good.
No, I'd eat
Sounds ridiculous.
Wow.
All right, Novak. It's for all marbles. Bull testicles.
Oh, I should know this. I'm gonna go with Colorado.
Very close. Montana.
Oh, I almost said Montana, but then I'm like, no, because I feel like isn't it something like served?
I mean, it didn't matter, Chad, anymore because you won anyway. So.
Because
Oh,
isn't
yeah.
it called like Rocky Mountain oysters or isn't it? Bull
Yeah,
testicles?
no, exactly.
Yeah. So I for some reason I thought Colorado.
So just for fun, why don't you guys all guess which state came in last and what food it was?
So is the ranking based on how much this person likes this food?
Probably, or
Something?
like I mean, this staff what they considered the best food. It's not one dude, I think.
All right, I'm going to say number 50 was Hawaii with Spam.
Novak.
Oh, geez, what has shitty food? I'm gonna say I'll go with I don't know, Delaware, and what do they eat in Delaware? Grilled cheese. I don't know.
Grilled cheese is that bad? Huh? All right,
Beef
Kristen?
and tomato.
Man, the worst food in the U.S. I mean, I'm from Wisconsin, which isn't exactly a culinary
You shut your mouth.
masterpiece. Once you get away from anything that can be deep fried, I'd say Florida and meth needles.
The old famous
Tasty,
dish of
tasty
meth needles.
I mean, Florida's got to come at the bottom of every list.
Mickey Mouse shaped meth needle. No, it's the last one is Ohio, and it is the Cincinnati chili, that Skyline chili they serve. I've never actually had
yeah.
it, but
I actually thought you were going to ask me. I actually thought you were going to ask me Ohio since I was born there when you were doing home states, and I for sure would have guessed Cincinnati chili, but I wouldn't
Oh,
have
yeah?
thought it was
Oh.
number 50.
I guess I don't. Current state, yeah. I always forget you were born in Ohio. But anyway, yeah. Most of the rest of these, there's some weird one. Like Utah's is green Jello with carrots in it.
Oh,
Okay.
What?
Hamburger casserole for Kansas. Something called what is it? Hot wieners. It's just like
Yeah. You're on the right
it's,
side.
it's good looking guys'
Also
penises.
Papua
That's
New
what that one is.
this podcast.
It's Chef Boyardee's penis.
It's got a picture of Ernie Keebler looking jacked. Scrapple for Pennsylvania. All kinds of good stuff. So anyway, who knows how scientific this is? But today's winner was Chad, and today's loser was all of you who are listening. So
Is that from Deadspin, Geiger?
yeah, or it's Food Spin, but it's a segment of Deadspin. Yeah.
Deadspin is a website about different like spins on ways to cook dead people, right?
Yes.
Like cannibal based.
Yeah, it's a cannibal recipe collection from Rachel Raised the Dead.
And it also just happens to have pictures of Chef Boyardee's penis for some reason.
It has a lot of visibly erect Chef Boyardee. I like how he's the only food mascot we keep talking about his dick. I mean, on this episode, others have featured plenty of other Chester Cheetah cock and whatnot, but
There's just a lot of pictures of like close-ups of Guy Fieri's pants to try to see like the outline. Like people do that with John Hamm or whatever, and this website is just all Guy Fieri.
they do.
Is every picture he's all the way, or has he got a semi in some of them?
I think it's probably a nice healthy mix. Healthy mix of Guy Fieri blood levels in his cock.
Guy Fieri bloodcock. That sounds fucking pretty bad. Huh? I know he's had some extreme recipes.
That's the most popular recipe on Deadspin. Is Guy Fieri
Mixed with Guy Fieri's
bloodcock.
favorite bloodcock with awesome chicken donkey sauce. All right. Well,
Oh,
that's certainly been a segment.
wow, where do we go wrong? All right, we've got one snack left, but currently the Oro Cream Biscuits are in the lead, but it's not a comfortable lead. They have some pretty poor ratings, but only the beef and tomato getting an even worse rating keeps them in the lead. Right now, we've got a big chocolate bar called Queen Emma Milk Chocolate. Chrissy, is there any story behind this?
No, not at all. This is just when I went to the supermarket, which was actually called a hypermarket. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this. Is this a thing?
Why is it called that?
I guess because it's even bigger than a supermarket. It's hyper.
Clever.
And this actually it's in a quality wrapper, and the other snacks that I got you looked really terrible, so I thought I should get something to balance out the mix. And so this looked reasonably decent. At least it comes in a nice wrapper. They had milk and dark, but I felt I sat there for a while thinking about who liked milk and who liked dark on the podcast and couldn't remember, and so I went with milk as it's generally the most likable one, the less divisive one. And yeah, that's the unstory of how I picked out the chocolate.
It smells like pretty standard milk chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
So if they screw this up, if they just screw up a piece of chocolate.
Chrissy, as a listener, let's say you had to pick out something that you thought each of us would like. I'm curious what we've conveyed. If we've accurately conveyed our preferences, what sort of things would you pick out? And why would it be a Reese's cup for Chad?
God, Chad, what would I pick out for you? Really difficult to think of what Chad would want.
I'm an enigma. I never make my opinions strongly known.
So Chad's shooting fish in a Reese's barrel.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit too easier. Geiger is like the meat and potatoes guy.
It's fair.
Definitely the steak. Theo as the beef jerky guy. A nice meat stick would go a long way with you.
Love the old meat steak.
And then, of course, I think I missed the episode where you actually became Mr. Chip, but you're always referred to as Mr. Chip, so...
Episode? I went to school for that.
He became Mr. Chip through an immaculate conception. He was born into this world as Mr.
Chip. He was born Mr. Chip, but he worked to become Dr. Chip.
Yep.
And Novak, for you, I see you as like the classics guy. I think you like the classics flavor, like our childhood favorites. You're good like packing your lunch sack, your brown paper bag lunch sack kind of snacks.
That's true. I never grew up.
He still likes handy snacks.
Yeah, exactly. Mr. Salty for the win. But that's it. You guys, but there's some variety thrown in. I certainly didn't see the ratings coming for today. So you guys all have some tricks up your sleeve. I'm pretty impressed.
I definitely like classics. I prefer like the old Chef Boyardee pictures with full bush. Like just...
you just protested all of his products when he finally manscaped.
Once the label started coming in HD.
Yeah. You just like that extra risk that like sometimes one of his pubes would fall into the mix. Give it that extra texture.
The chocolate.
Quickly, the chocolate.
Oh my God, he's talking about pubes in the mix. Oh, the chocolate.
We just got a cease and desist from Chef Boyardee. Anyway, the chocolate.
So here's a little note about the chocolate. Is Chad shipped us this and another chocolate bar, and it was delivered to my house on about a 98-degree day. And when I picked them up, they were very soupy. So we have the chocolate that has melted and reformed, which I don't think that you normally change the flavor a little, but sometimes it does. But it tastes a little different than your standard milk chocolate. What do you guys think?
There's something in the aftertaste that is not pleasant at all. There's definitely like a different flavor. I don't know if it's just not sweet enough, or it almost is like a little sour. Am I crazy to say that?
Oh, it's got like a little bitterness. It almost tastes like baking chocolate, like semi-sweet chocolate instead of regular chocolate.
Yeah.
And it's got a weird grainy kind of ness to it.
I had high expectations because it's in like a nicer package. Like sometimes you'll get like the dairy milk chocolate or something like that, and I just thought it would be like a little like creamier, like a Dove kind of chocolate, but it's not really meeting that expectation.
Named after a queen, for God's sakes.
I know. I think it's named after the band Queen.
Queen Emma, the band.
The band Queen.
I'm not sure who Queen Emma is, but they were the local Papuans were very excited to like tell me about the chocolate and say that I should buy it, and we're very impressed. Like, oh, your friends are really gonna love this chocolate. So let's see.
Did they also tell you we'd like those other things?
What is the government actually like in PNG? Didn't they like within our lifetime almost kind of go off on their own?
My history of PNG is not nearly as impressive as my ability to purchase snacks and deliver them to you.
Real quick, Googling PNG government structure, as this is now
It's a prime minister. I know it's a parliament and a prime minister, but beyond that,
some guy was trying to tell me about the government, and I was like, yeah. Where's the chocolate?
The government was just overthrown within the last couple of months, so I can't go back into our entire lifetime as you requested, but definitely they've had a new prime minister in the last couple of months, which is why I went, because we were hoping with a shift in the government we might have some leverage with our platform, but alas, we did not.
Were you a part of that coup, that overthrow?
And I can really bore the rest of your audience with more history about refugees in Papua New Guinea, but instead we could talk about
snooze
Chef Boyardee's nutsack.
That is definitely not what people tune into this for.
No.
Is there a segment of the population that wants to hear about the government of PNG, and that same segment wants to hear about Chef Boyardee pubic hair? Is there any crossover?
The Boyardee PNG segment of the population.
I mean, you can't say no.
That's quite the Venn diagram.
All right, Chrissy, what do you think of the chocolate?
I'm really stuck between being indifferent and liking it. It's not terrible, and it has a nice chocolatey flavor. It's not like a delicious chocolate bar that you go out and seek. But if you're craving chocolate and it's between that and a dark natives man junk, I'd probably go for the chocolate bar. I can't say that for sure.
Those are the options.
I'm really teetering.
What are you teetering between?
I'm teetering between indifferent and liking it.
Okay.
You did go back for multiple squares.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with like that.
All right.
It's all right.
The very first like of the entire episode finally handed out our 9th rating in. All right. Chad, what do you think?
I don't like it. I think I think maybe I'm just too weaned on like the American style of chocolate, but I don't even think it's that, because I like dairy milk and chocolate that comes from like other countries and stuff, but this one there is just something foul about the aftertaste to me, and it sits in my mouth weird. I still have it. I've drank a bunch of water and I can't wash it out. It smells good, but it tastes bad. So yeah, this is just another dislike that for me. This is like just a disaster of an episode.
All right. A like and a dislike. I am more on the line with Chad here. Of these 3 snacks, I would go back to eat the cookie before any of the other ones.
Me too.
This leaves a bad aftertaste, like Chad said. The texture is just something just slightly off about it. I guess I understand Chrissy's rating in that it is chocolate, but for me, it's just not hitting home. I'm going to give it a dislike. So a like and 2 dislikes. Geiger, the episode kind of sits in your hands here, even though I think the chocolate's still going to take it because of the like.
See, I'm the opposite. I think of all the things we ate today, I would least like to eat that cookie, actually, which I know puts me in the squarely in the minority because everyone's shitting on that cracker. But the cookie was just so salty and weird and crumbly. This was fine. I don't think it's great for the reasons you guys already articulated. It's got a weird aftertaste for sure. I kind of like dark chocolate, though, so the bitterness doesn't turn me off that much, whereas maybe for you guys it does. The consistency is a bit odd. I am going to give it a little bit of some slack in that area because it was melted and reconstituted a little bit. So I think it's fine. It's not great chocolate. It's fine. It's just chocolate. It's not a big deal. I'm indifferent to that, in other words. So I don't love it. I don't like it. I'm just like it. I don't hate it. The only option left is indifferent. So that's where I'm at.
All right. A like and indifferent and 2 dislikes. So the Queen Emma chocolate does take it for this particular episode. And Chrissy, why don't you let us know what do you got next? You're gonna be you're leaving the country again soon, right?
Yeah, I was supposed to be leaving, but last week, but it got delayed, so I'll be so I came to San Francisco instead, which is a win for me.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not a win for your listeners, but tough shit. And so yeah, in a week,
The listeners love you.
both of them.
Yes.
Well, you're one of them, so yeah.
both my wife and me, the two people that listen to this podcast, like you.
Well, I will be next listening to this podcast. In Libya, as I talk about it in another episode. So I don't know if there'll be any snacks, because from what I hear from my organization is they don't even have functioning banks. So I can't be sure that they're going to have knockoff snacks. But if there are, you betcha I'll do my best to bring them back for you.
Nice.
Just send us back like a date wrapped in some paper.
I'll see what I can do. But your podcast, from me and the other two listeners, keeping you guys afloat. Keep going, guys. Keep going.
Geiger, where can the listeners contact us with any comments, praise, and compliments, things like that?
Where the compliments, bitch. They can reach out to an inside joke that no one will get but us. Yeah, it's for us. This podcast is for the three of us. Let's be clear.
We do every now and then we have to do one for us. Most of our jokes are for others, but sometimes one for us.
Really?
Wait, which one of the jokes we made today was someone else supposed to enjoy?
The one about Guy Fieri's crotch bulge.
I think there was one in the beginning.
The intro when we weren't dirty. Anyway, if you would like to advocate for your state's favorite food, tell us what you know about Papua New Guinea's governmental structure. Basically, if you would like to do any of the research that we refuse to do on this podcast, please, I have some homework assignments for you. Tune in, as always. And by tune in, I mean listen. You can do that on Stitcher, SoundCloud, YouTube. We are on Instagram. We are on Facebook. We have a You Tried Dat group. Or hashtag You Tried Dat on Twitter and youtrieddat@gmail.com. Feel free to send mailbag questions, request snacks. Give us feedback on what you don't like. Yes, we know you don't like 20 minutes of Chef Boyardee dick jokes.
Do you guys get that? Do you get have you ever gotten mail of somebody offended by dick jokes or mascot genitalia jokes?
We've had feedback that that we should keep it a little bit cleaner.
Okay.
But we tend to ignore it.
Clearly.
Yeah. I mean, most of the people that listen know us, so if they can tolerate being around, this is how we talk in real life too.
Okay.
The other day I was on the phone with my mom. I'm like, Mom, do you know if Chef Boyardee has a full 70s bush or no? She was like, it's been a while. In my day, we had to strain the pubes out. There was so much pube, they had to take them out. It was more pube than soup.
Oh, yeah. It really ruined the consistency of the hot dish.
My mom's not from Minnesota. She's from Wisconsin. Way better and different. No, it's the same. It's the same.
Huge difference.
Oh, yeah. Don't you know?
All right. We got to end it on a high note here with a serious question. So back to this, our debate that started it was the cannibalism, right?
Yeah.
So now you've become a cannibal in this scenario. You have to. Chef Boyardee just passed an untimely death by Chef Boyardee. Now give me an honest answer. Which part of Chef Boyardee? You can't say pubes, okay? You can't say meatballs or something. You got to give an honest answer.
You can't take those prime cuts, guys. You got to go for that.
because I'm gonna say pubes last. So
okay, everyone on 3. Everyone just say pubes, and we'll end the podcast.
On 3, let's all say pubes and go. Which part of Chef Boyardee would you actually eat? Like, what is supposedly, if being a cannibal, there's nothing wrong with it. Geiger, don't make that face. You told me there was nothing wrong with being a cannibal. You said not a damn thing wrong with it.
How are we supposed to know is what I'm saying.
You're promoting it.
All right. It's fair.
This isn't a lifestyle you're clearly wanting to explore.
Mm-hmm.
So which part of him are you eating? You get first dibs.
Oh, I get that. All right. Well, I mean, I'm gonna have to base it on my knowledge of other meat that is good. So I'm assuming humans are white meat,
Sure.
mostly. So I'll go with a thigh, right? Because the thigh meat is generally juicy and tender. And Chef Boyardee, he's got some gams, man. He's got some thigh meat for days. He's thicky thick. And then I might.
Yeah, he's running around the kitchen all the time.
Yeah.
He's definitely.
He's probably sweating garlic, so he's been marinating this whole time. And then I'll take the cheek, right? The cheek meat.
You get one. You get one.
Oh.
You get the thigh.
I only get one. I'll go with thigh.
Stop being greedy.
Yeah, well, I'm hungry. I'm a big guy.
I didn't have dinner. All right, Chrissy, you get the next.
Chef Boyardee's cheek.
Now, Geiger, we all heard your sister tell us how fit and thin you are.
Yeah.
What a nice
I'm a
sister.
fucking Jack LaLanne over here.
Nice sister.
Chrissy, you get the next. You get the next choice.
I'm gonna go with the rib meat. He makes a lot of products that really stick in there. I feel like he's got a good set of ribs. It can really sink my teeth into that. I'm going ribs.
All right, the thigh and rib is gone. Chad.
Well, I mean, like if you think about, I feel like human meat might be similar to like a pig, right? And the best part of the pig is the bacon, which comes from the butt, I think. So give me that Chef Boyardee rump roast. I want both cheeks nicely flayed and set up and cooked well. That's what I want. Give me that ass.
I think taking something on the leg is a mistake because Boyardee is on his feet all day, and it's just going to be too muscly. Anything in the leg is going to be too muscly.
Chef Boyardee's fucking ripped.
So I'm going to take his mustache. No, I think.
Also known as face puke.
What's left? The shoulder. I'll take the shoulder.
Well, you can get cheek. Geiger didn't get to claim it.
Yeah, no, you can have the cheek if you want.
No, that's weird.
Prime meat.
That's just too. That's weird, Geiger. It's a terrible answer.
Novak, you can have his lips. I don't think anyone chose that.
And men have breasts too. Just saying.
Yeah, you get that Chef Boyardee titty. Who was that just ran in? That was weird.
All right. Well, that'll do it.
Can we just go out saying? Can we go out asking our listeners which one, if they're interested in eating Chef Boyardee's nuts? Can we just end on that?
I mean, we can. That's an option, I guess.
All right. Well, we do want to give a good thanks to Chrissy because we love having you on the podcast, Chrissy. And
it is the best podcast I've ever been on.
Wow.
It is really good to see you, and we wish you the best of luck out in Libya. And hopefully we will be able to have you back in a future episode.
Absolutely.
Totally. I'll be happy to bring you more crappy snacks in the future.
That's what we're here for. All right. So we'll be back next time. We'll be trying out 3 brand new snacks.
Deuces.
Yep.